Okay, so if I start the garden tour off at the back gate when you come in, you've got all of the garden beds that we prepped a couple of weeks ago, and they're holding up pretty well. I have had some weeds come up, so I've gone through and picked them out. If you saw, I think it was my last video, you will have seen that Elijah has just been digging up everything that I planted. So nothing has actually come up since we sowed those seeds a few weeks ago, but it's okay. I've ordered some more and we're gonna start them off in the greenhouse instead. So we've got nothing growing in the main beds, but we do have the garlic and onions in here, which are looking good. I fed these some bone meal when I was prepping the other garden beds, and it seems to have done them some good. They are continuing to grow and they look pretty good. I planted these as sets in the autumn, so they're looking pretty good. And I've just spotted a weed, whatever this is. And we've got the walkways. I've laid out the slabs. I don't have enough to go in each walkway, but when the garden is all grown, like, this will all be covered anyway, so I think it will be fine. Got some spare plant pots here which we're gonna be planting some strawberries into, and then probably some tomatoes. And then we've got our strawberry planter, which we did again a couple of videos ago, I think. They all seem to be looking good. They did go a bit droopy because I forgot to water them after we potted them, but they're not too bad. It needs some more water, to be honest, so go through and give that water after, but they're looking good. And then we've got our tulip tub, which these are obviously way past best now. This one still looks pretty though. I didn't actually plant many tulips in here. I didn't think about it. I think I put crocus in here as well, and I didn't think about the fact that they'd be flowering at different times. But this has been pretty, so I'm glad that I did that, but they're obviously past their best days now. The blackcurrant is looking good. We've got some growth on it. This was the last one out of all of the ones that we got that has started to bud, but it's looking pretty good. We've got some little flowers as well, which is super exciting. Then we've got this raspberry plant, which I cut this all back in autumn time. This is the golden raspberry plant that I've had forever, and I did actually, which you can probably tell, I put grass clippings over it as mulch, which probably wasn't the best idea. So we'll just pull those out for now. It comes back so well every single year, and it stayed in this pot for so long. I should honestly probably repot it, but it seems to be doing well. So as long as it stays like that, I'll leave it and just continue feeding it with some compost. Then the blueberry plants are looking really, really good. They've had leaves on them for quite a while now, which is exciting. And the ones further along do actually have some flowers showing, which is even more exciting. I'm really excited so that I can put these in the freezer and have them like with pancakes and stuff. I think that'll be so good. Then this is a raspberry plant, which these have literally shot out in the past few days, and we have some little flowers forming up there. This is just a regular raspberry. I can't remember the variety. Autumn Bliss. So, as the name suggests, they'll come nearer the autumn time. But that one looks really good. That one is still dead, so that's going to come out eventually when I need the pot, because it's just dead. There's been no growth or anything, but that's okay. We've still got 2 other raspberry plants, but I'll replace it next year, I think. Again, another blueberry, and we've got the little buds forming, which is so exciting. This one actually has quite a few on it. This is the last blueberry plant as well, which again have some buds forming on that as well, and quite a few up here. Then, if you remember a few videos ago, we planted some beetroot in here and then some radish in here, and these are popping up nicely. And then fruit trees, this is, which one is this, the plum tree? Yeah, this is the plum tree, which is looking so good, and we've got so much new growth up here. I tried to tie it together because some of the branches were just kind of like flopping out this way, so I've tried to train it a little bit, but It's looking really good. And then this is the pear tree. This one has flowered so much already. You'll see all of the petals have fallen off, or off the flowers. So I'm just hoping that it hasn't flowered too early, because I think it's 20th or 21st of April today. Our last frost is supposed to be around the first week of May, so hopefully it'll be okay. But that's looking really good. This is a dwarf pear tree, so it's not supposed to get too big, but we've got some nice growth on it again and up here. So super happy with that one. And then this is the apple tree, which I thought last year had a disease, but it seems to be growing back really well. I literally cut back all of the branches, and we just had this little like stump left, but it seems to be growing back well. I don't think we're going to be getting any fruit from this year, but at least it looks healthy, so that's exciting. And my granddad has a massive apple tree, so if I want any, I can always grab some from there. And then we've got the very last of our daffodils at the bottom of the apple tree too, so pretty. And then we've got the cherry tree, which again is we've got some extra growth up here and seems to be doing really well. This one I think is dead, this branch, but we have got new growth on this one. And ooh, there are so many bugs on this already. That's disgusting. How do I fix this? I think they're aphids. My dad's just putting up a shelf for me, so I'm gonna have to ask him how I get rid of these horrible creatures. I've just got some spare compost and spare pots, which we can ignore, but that's the reality. My wisteria, which is growing back ever so slightly. My sister got me this for my birthday. I have visions of it like trailing up my front door eventually, but it's obviously a baby for now. But it will be super pretty, and I'm hoping that we can get some flowers from it this year. Then we have some herbs which have overwintered. So we've got mint, which all of these plants around the edge are actually new plants that self-seeded themselves. This is the original plant, which is actually growing back, but just very slowly. But yeah, all of these are self-seeded. So this is your sign to never plant mint in the ground, because it will go everywhere. But this is really good. Parsley as well, which I'm surprised lasted over the winter, but it has, and we've got lots of new growth, which is very exciting. And then finally the rosemary, which hasn't grown much yet this year, but it's overwintered well, and I did use some over the winter. Then we've just got an empty planter ready for either some zinnias or maybe thyme or something. Then we have my bay tree. Again, this was a present for my birthday last year, and it's growing really well. I try and keep it in a spherical shape, but we do have some extra growth down here, but I love drying these out for the kitchen. And then my little Wilma tree, which just stays the size it is as always. Now I need to go get my dad. There's aphids on my cherry tree. I didn't even realise until I was looking here, but like, look.
Yeah, got the leaf curl.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all here.
Hopefully you can get some
Ew.
some spray, you know, that handheld spray, aphid spray, that's what you need.
Yeah. Horrible creatures
Whether
already.
it's organic or not, I don't know, but you've got to do it, otherwise.
We'll figure something out for that, because that's gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been and gone from the garden for a couple of hours. I've been at my mum's house having Easter dinner, but we're back to do the rest of the garden tour. So I have my forget-me-nots in here, which I don't actually know if I've shown you guys, but they do look gorgeous. Some of them are kind of flopping over now, but they look really pretty. Very happy about these. And the dahlia is in the middle. I don't know if it's going to grow up. Someone left me a comment and said I shouldn't have buried the top of it, so I took it out, redid it, but it might have died. But at least this looks gorgeous. We've got some tulips, miscellaneous watering can, And then these are all of the plants that we took out from around the pond when I took that out, but they seem to be doing quite well. We've got some lavender at the back, which I did not prune last year, which you can definitely tell. And to be honest, I can't remember what the other ones are called, but they're pretty flowers. There's some foxgloves in there as well. Then for the greenhouse, so in here we have some exciting things. I'm just going to turn this around. I turned it around the other way just because all of these ones seem to be thriving. These ones didn't, and these ones were weirdly over this side before, but the ones by the door seem to have been doing well. So I turned them round, and since I did that, we've had the coriander, the oregano, and the dill, and some of the marjoram pop up. So I think it's doing what it should be, but there are definitely some that haven't popped up at all. The chives, which these were garlic chives, and I was actually so excited for those, so we're definitely going to have to replant them if they don't kind of come up. But I might just sow those directly into the herb planter rather than trying them as seeds. In the nursery trays, mint, rosemary, which again I don't really need either of these because I have the plants already, but I had the seeds, so I thought I'd try it. Parsley, not come up, but quite a lot of the herb seeds I had were very old, so that does make sense. None of the wild garlic, which kind of not surprised at that because it's not time of year for them to be sown. This is the kind of time where you can forage for them. And the basil, I think we've got one coming up there, but again, not amazing, but it is what it is. And worst case, we will buy some from the food shop and plant those out instead. All of the flowers, I'm happy to report, are doing very well, especially the zinnias, which I am so excited for. Apparently, they are some of the easiest to grow, which that is true because they are thriving. We've got a lot of the cornflower popping up and the borage, which I'm super excited for. None of the chamomile, but again, those seeds were so old, and they did germinate the first time I grew them, which was about 2 or 3 years ago. I did pick up some more chamomile seeds this year though, so I'll just give those another shot when I plant them out. We've got some calendulas growing all in these, which is super exciting. They're going to go in with the tomatoes. No petunia, but I think that's fine. So that is very exciting. And then down here, we resowed the brassicas, and I'm happy to report that these are looking much better than when I tried to grow them inside. So we have got quite a few purple sprouting broccoli coming up. Not loads, but probably enough. We've got a lot of Cavolo Nero kale growing, which is amazing because that's one of my favourites. Got some cabbage, some curly kale, no celery. The leeks are still looking sad. I think I'm going to give up on these two. I will leave these just because some of them have germinated. I'll leave them in here for a while and see if I get around to planting them out, but I think these are maybe a little bit trickier to grow. Then we've got our herbs that we bought at the garden centre. These are going to be going in one of the tiered planters in a couple of weeks when these have grown up a bit, and when I've done a Tesco order, I think, because I'll order some potted herbs to plant out. Then on the other side of the greenhouse, I have prepped some more nursery pots this morning actually for some April seeds that we're going to need to replant. So everything that we direct sowed in the garden beds, Elijah, bless him, has found his love for digging. So we're going to be replanting the majority of the peas, courgettes, cucumbers, etc. in here, and then I'll plant them out when that plants, hoping that he won't touch them. We'll see, but if not, I'll have to pop some netting or fencing around so he can't go on the garden beds, but that's fine. But I've done a seed order, so I'm just waiting for that to arrive, and then I think that will probably be the next video where we replant those and also turn over my compost heap. And then coming out of the greenhouse, we have our final pots that I've yet to show you. So I believe this first pot is spinach, and we've got some popping up, which is fantastic. Then in this next one, I can't remember exactly what I planted in here. I know that these are radish. Cannot remember what these are. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's either lettuce, beetroot. Oh, it might be beetroot actually, because I think this is beetroot as well. In here. Yeah, I think that must be beetroot. And then we've got beetroot in here. We've got a lot of beetroot going. Oh my gosh, I did not realise. And then finally we have some lettuce popping up. I can't believe how slow the lettuce was to germinate. Like, I've tried planting it a couple of times now outside, but it's just not done it. And I didn't have much luck with starting it in nursery pots inside, but we'll give it a go next year and try something different. But I did try that before I got the grow mat, so it might be something to do with that. I'm definitely gonna go inside. I'm gonna make up a spray for this tree, and I'll keep you posted with how it goes, if it works, and please send prayers for my cherry tree. And this is what we look like for an overview, so thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and drop me a comment below with what you are excited for in your garden this month.